by phone. And right now I want to introduce again Sarah Schur, who was born in Israel, went to Hebrew University, took psychology and sociology, moved to Canada, worked as a computer programmer after taking a degree in computer programming. And since she's been retired, looks like a very young lady to be retired. She's been involved in volunteering in the Israel division of the UJA Federation. The Israel division is canvassing the Israeli community during the campaign, is involved in educating the Israeli Canadians about the activities and organization of the UJA. Sarah, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for coming. I know it was a busy morning. You were also doing other volunteer work, so you're very busy.
I am, and thank you for having me.
So it's great that you take the time out to help the UJA. How did you get involved with the UJA?
Actually, I just happened to attend an event that was organized by the UJA, and it had a keynote speaker who came from Israel. And the people who organized it asked if people were interested in volunteering.
Right.
And I met with them and heard what they were doing. And I realized that even though I've lived here for many, many years, I knew very little about the activities of the UJA.
Right.
And I also realized that there were many Israelis who were just like me, Israeli Canadians, who have been here for years, who are part of the community, and are very much unaware of what the UJA is doing and how relevant those activities are to their own lives.
Yes, yes. So what attracted you about it? I mean, what are some of the activities that you found most compelling?
I think the one that I find the most compelling and most important is, of course, the support of the Jewish education.
Yes.
And without the UJA, we wouldn't have high schools, Jewish high schools or day schools.
Right.
I also realize how difficult it is for many people, especially among the Israelis, to afford Jewish education for their kids. So that makes the support that the UJA gives even more important.
Right.
I understand also that what happens with the Israeli community is we have a very large community now. The estimated number of Israelis in Toronto, out of the 200,000 Jewish people who live here, is between 50 and 70,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Many people don't know that.
Very big.
But that makes the Israeli community between a quarter and a third of the Jewish community.
That's huge.
To a large extent, these people are not very involved in the life of the Jewish community. And they lead, it's almost a separate community.
Right.
And this is a very problematic issue.
Right.
It is not that problematic for the first generation, the people who are still here with very, very strong ties to Israel, and a very strong sense of their Israeli and Jewish identity.
Right.
I think it is going to be a problem to the next generation, especially if this next generation is not going to, in most cases, get Jewish education.
Right.
We also have a problem because most of the Israelis, and I'm talking in general terms, of course it doesn't describe everyone, but the majority of them are secular Jews.
Right.
So they don't attend or don't belong to a shul. And it is very important for us to try and help them strengthen their cultural and religious identity, which is what we do, part of what we do. So what we do is, on the one hand, we try to help them strengthen their identity.
Yes.
On the other hand, we're trying to bridge between the two communities.
Right.
Between the Israeli community and the Jewish community.
Right. Yeah. Very important.
With our activities.
And I know there are programs. I don't know if they're supported by the UJA, but like Birthright. I think that may be part of the UJA where
the Birthright program is supported by the UJA as by the Sochnut and the Israeli government. And as far as I know, some private philanthropists. The Birthright is actually it caters to any Jewish person under the age of 26. It's not specific to the Israeli community.
Right, that's right.
It's a general program.
Be 18 years old
18,
or 19,
between 18
like
and 26, yeah.
Right.
It's a fantastic program,
incredible.
by the way.
So it's basically any young Jewish person like in that age group, I think they go, is it totally free or?
It's, I think it's almost free,
Yeah.
maybe even totally free.
Right.
It doesn't depend on whether they've been there before.
Mhm.
It doesn't depend on on your financial situation. And it's just, they go to Israel, they spend, I think, about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're exposed to the land, to the history, it's apparently a wonderful, wonderful experience and
Yeah.
very effective.
Yeah, I have some
Yeah.
relatives who went, 2 or 3, and yeah, incredible.
Did they like it?
Oh yeah, they had
Yeah.
a fabulous time.
Yeah.
When I was young, I went to Volunteers for Israel. I was on an army base for a few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone is still offering that program.
I think they still have that,
Yeah, so,
I don't know if it's for young people. I know that there are some programs for older people.
Yeah, that's, well, yeah,
Yeah.
at the time I was probably in my mid-20s, but my mother has also gone to that.
Oh, did she?
And my mother-in-law to Volunteers for Israel. So
that's wonderful.
great opportunity to see
Yeah.
what's going on in Israel, and also to meet some of the people, the soldiers and different things, to see that, the types of challenges they're dealing with,
Yeah.
and that they're, very nice people and everything like that, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the media portrays
That's right.
them. Yeah. So, so that's amazing. I
Yeah.
didn't know that the Israeli population, Israeli Jewish population, was so large here.
It is a
in the
very
city.
large community, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a big job to do in
We have a
educating
big
them.
job, yeah, and that's our main focus. What we're trying to do is educate the Israelis and show them that in many cases they use some of the organizations and they benefit from some of the organizations that are affiliated with the UJA,
Sure.
but they just don't make the connection because of
Right.
lack of knowledge.
That's right.
And so what we do is we have events where we bring keynote speakers on different subjects, but we also present at least one agency
Right.
that is affiliated with the UJA, let's say Jewish Child and Family Services.
Right.
We try to bring, first of all, a person who is in charge and can give a presentation, but we also try to bring someone who benefits from those services.
Right.
And in some cases, we hear unbelievable stories of people whose lives changed completely.
Yeah.
And we hope and believe that if people know more about it, they're going to support it.
Sure.
Because it is relevant to every one of us
Yeah.
and
there's-
very important.
Well, just looking at the UJA website this morning, I pulled off, I think there's literally dozens of organizations, for seniors, to help keep seniors active and out where they can go and socialize and have access to low-cost meals or whatever. And there's one program I know is quite popular now, is Parnassa Works, to help people
Yeah.
find work,
That's
and
right.
which is also something for new immigrants, coming in. So they do a lot of great work, and
Yeah.
I know when is the campaign over?
The campaign is over officially by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
But now is really,
Now's
most
the
of the
time.
canvassing is done now.
Right, now's the time.
Usually it's during the Jewish holidays that
Right.
It's done, and it's probably going to be over by the end of November.
Right, okay, so
Yeah.
so now's the time for the big push, and people can find out more by going to the website, which I
Absolutely.
think is ujafed.org, if
That's
I'm not
right,
mistaken. They can either call or donate online or whatever.
Absolutely, and we're always looking for volunteers as well.
Lots of need for
Yeah,
volunteers.
So whoever is interested can call us, and we'll be very happy to meet with them and tell them
Right.
what we are doing, and
Right.
hopefully they'll join us.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. Whether you're Israeli or non-Israeli or anyone, because I know that not just Jewish people as well benefit from the UJA.
Absolutely.
And if we have time, we also have a UJA video. If we have time later in the show, we'll play that so you can see more about what they're doing. Sarah, I want to thank you very much for
my pleasure.
coming down, and wish you the best of the luck with the rest of the
Thank you
campaign.
very
And
much.
we'll stay in touch.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks very much. Okay, so there you have it, people. UJAfed.org. Stick with us. We'll be back in just.